Hey, this is Phil from Race City Retro, and today I'm going to show you guys the easiest kit bash ever. We're going to take the AMT 57 Chevy, the AMT 67 Chevelle Pro Street, and bash them together. We're going to make one Pro Street 57 Chevy out of these two kits. I first heard the term kit bash when I was a little kid watching a TV show, Saturday TV show called Wonderama. Anybody else ever watched that show? Put it in the comments if you did. Wonderama had a van, and the host of the show, Bob McAllister, wanted something special on their van. So he had none other than the king of the customizers himself, George Barris, paint his van with a custom paint job. Now, Barris asked for only one thing in return. He wanted to come on the kids show and talk about model cars. George Barris was a huge model car fan, builder from the 50s right through the 60s. He did a lot with AMT, a lot. And if you look back, there's a lot of Barris kits out there that were his doing, getting his custom cars out there and working in conjunction with AMT, which is pretty cool. So here I am watching this show, and I believe he was introducing his Cruisin' USA kits, which had a lot of custom features, and he had a few of his other show car kits. And he talked about this term kit bashing, where he was taking parts from one kit, parts from another kit to make the perfect kit. And I never thought about that. As a kid, you don't have a ton of extra stuff around, but as the years went on, I started to do it more and more. You know, you build a Mopar model, it comes with a big block. Another one comes with a Hemi. You put the Hemi in the big block one. Now you got a Hemi Roadrunner instead of a 440 or a 383 Roadrunner. So that's kind of the way I did it. But with custom cars, it's really cool because it's unlimited. You could do whatever you want. Let me show you how I got to this conclusion that these two cars are going to fit together so perfect. This is going to be one of the easiest kit bashes you ever done. And if you want to build a really neat Pro Street 57 Chevy, watch this. We're going to do this in two parts. Today I'm going to show you all the initial stuff, the initial sizing and cutting. And I need your help. I want you guys to help me pick the color I'm going to paint this car. Put it in the comments. Just don't say red. I don't want to do a red Pro Street 57 Chevy. Hot Rod Magazine, Carcraft Magazine, Popular Hot Rod. They were full of them in the 80s and 90s. Don't want to do it red. I'll do it pink before I do it red. Hey, pink is 80s. Put it in the comments, the color scheme you think I should do on this car. I'd like to get some feedback from you guys. So let me show you how I figured this out. Let's get started on this AMT 57 Chevy Pro Street build. Okay, so there I was standing in good old Hobby Lobby, and these two kits happen to be right next to each other like that. And I'm eyeballing it up, and I said, man, this wheelbase looks really close, right? So I take out my cell phone and I look up 57 Chevy wheelbase, and it comes up 115 inches. Okay. So then I look up 67 Chevelle wheelbase, and it comes up 115 inches. So I said, man, they are dead on, the two wheelbases on these two cars. So I picked up one of each, and they were cheap. These are two of the cheapest models in Hobby Lobby. I think I spent $30 on the two of them. One was like $14 after the discount. One was like $16. And this Chevelle is a great kit. This 57 kit has been around forever. It's a really good body, but they decontented this whole kit. It used to have a 409. It used to have chrome reverse. Basically, you could build this kit stock, and that's it. No other way. So it's basically more than a donor. I'm sorry, it's basically just a good donor. You don't even get any good parts left over. I figured, I was thinking of the older ones where you had the 409, but nope, this is just basically a dead stock kit. When you look at the trees in this kit, all the good parts are missing. So AMT ran this thing down to the basics just to be a real cheap kit. All right, let me show you what we're going to do here. Let me show you. Let's start off showing you how good everything fits together. All right, so there's your 57 body, and I love the aqua. This kit comes molded, and I might actually just paint it aqua again. It doesn't match the color on the box top, but It looks real good, this kit. And what I love about this kit is they don't put the ribs on the quarter panel of the stainless piece on the 57 Chevy. So technically, you could build this kit as a 210 hardtop, just like the Scott Sullivan car. You just have to shorten these up too. The 210 had a little shorter piece of trim on the top, on the hardtop. But that's kind of slick. And this body's been around forever, but it's held up well, man. It stood the test of time. Now, one of the things with Pro Street cars, if you think back, they have these big steamroller tires. These are the ones from this kit. They actually give you two. They give you these, and they give you a set of Goodyear lettered, which I think might be slicks. We'll take those out and look at them, but it's going to look real nice with those babies talked up in there and be super simple. Anyone could do this. This is so easy. Wait till you see this. You're going to laugh. There's your interior cup. One of my worries initially was the big wheel tubs are going to take out the back seat, because on a lot of Pro Street cars, you had to trim the seat springs out or do something custom with the back seat to get it to fit. That's why a lot of them just had either, they used to put a roll bar with a seat in the middle, or they used to just eliminate the back seat. But watch how nice this all goes together. All right, so we're going to snap the interior cup in. Let's get it on these little pins here. It sticks pretty good. We'll leave this laying down over here. And here is the Chevelle chassis. So this comes pre-tubbed, ready to go. Full frame Chevelle chassis. It comes with nice upper and lower control arms in the front. And there's basically a few simple things you're going to need to trim on this. And let me show you my initial fitting. When I put this in, I said, man, look at that. Look how it drops in. Now, you'll see it looks like the wheel tubs are a little wide. They're kind of pushing the body out a tick. And this back rounded piece hangs over. So if you knock that off where I marked it and just leave it as a straight chassis, you take that out of the way, you'll be perfect. Up front, it wants to go up, but because of these wheel tubs, the Chevelle has the big wheel tubs, the 57 Chevy has the other wheel tubs, you can't sandwich it all together. But if you look at the front too, you see this indentation? It matches the pan on the 57 Chevy. So I don't know if we have to notch that yet, but if we do, I'm going to save that for last. It's the same shape. So that pan is going to drop right down. As far as these tubs, I marked one. The back tub, I basically put a piece of straight line tape connecting from the edge of the frame to the edge of the front there. So we're going to take that little lip off on both sides. This wheel tub, where I marked it, you're going to take it off along the tub. You can leave that hole and go back that way. And make sure you look inside here. You don't want to cut way down into the frame. You can see your inner lips. Let me show you on this side. See that line? You want to cut it along that line so that you don't go, down into the frame too much. But it's real simple. You're going to just take, I'm going to use my Dremel, my cutting tool, my disc, and just cut right along here, right along there, and kind of go on a, I guess, a diagonal angle. Yeah, I could go on a diagonal angle. To there. And then you could always come back in and clean that up. All right, let me make some cuts. I'm going to take these tubs off. And then when I'm done with that, I'm going to cut that. I'm going to cut that. And then we'll see how this all fits together. But see, it's just so simple, man. Just lose these two tubs, flatten out your back, and take a little off of here. You don't got to go crazy. And when you take this off, you still have plenty of room for the tires to fit. So that shouldn't be too bad. Just taking that outer lip. The tires are fine in there. Even if they're out a tick, if we have to shave the brake drum on this thing and push it in a little, we'll see. But it's going to look wild with those things under the 57. I always loved Pro Street cars, man. They were just amazing. We saw one in person back in the day. All right, let me get cutting here. I'm going to take that off, the edge, the edge, the edge. I will be right back. I love the smell of burning plastic in the morning. All right, my Dremel wheel Made quick work of that thing. And let me tell you, it fits so good. I just did my rough cuts. I still got to come in and clean the melted plastic. But if you look, let's see. And in the back, I just scribed this with my X-Acto and just snapped it, and it came off. But I still got to sand it with a sand stick or some paper. Did the wheel tubs. I got to sand those smooth, and it fits so good. Even like under here, you can see it drops and just touches it dead flat. And the 57 has the opening for the A-frame. And in here, it's going to line up perfect. There's a little bit of flat, melted plastic. I got to clean over that. But it's going to line up where the suspension comes through perfect. Up in the front, I don't know. I may be able to cut these two edges off too. I got to see. I'm going to test the bracket. And as far as that front piece, it's sitting pretty flat. But I'd probably just take a little edge out of that so that this drops down into it and gets it like really level. But it's going to look good because it's going to have a great stance. Let me get a tire over here. Let's put this right where it should be, right about there. And, I mean, well, let me turn it that way a little. Oh, come on, I can't get a good shot. There we go. Ish. Like that. That's going to sit real nice in there. Going to look good. And now, easy peasy. So now it's basically like you're building the chassis out of this kit with all the parts in this kit. You get a big block. I'm going to go over this kit with you in a minute. Big block, tunnel ram. You also get a snorkel hood scoop if you want to use that. You get these centerline wheels. You're going to build your chassis, all your suspension, just box stock out of this kit. And then your body and interior and chrome is out of this kit. So once this chassis is done, everything's going to glue together real nice. And then you got yourself a Pro Street 57 Chevy Bel Air hardtop. Let's take a look at this kit now, and I'll show you all the goodies that this one comes with. Okay, because you're using the Chevelle chassis, you're going to use all the Chevelle chassis parts, engine, trans, drive shaft. There's your tires. And you're not going to use the Chevelle body, the Chevelle, interior cup, but let's get a few of these snipped open and we can see what kind of goodies. And what I like is it's a big block, so you're going to have a big block powered 4-speed 57 Chevy Pro Street. All right. There's your wheels, and those are awesome. You got little skinny front runners. These normally paint the center silver to match the car. I like these ribbed rockers that the Chevelle has, and they probably line up perfect on the 57. Let's take a look. Maybe a slight trim, but pretty close if you want to put those on the 57. Big block Chevy valve covers. We might have to go to the parts box, though. Those are stockers. Maybe I'll get some gold Morosos or something in there. Alternator setup, 4-speed. Those are your hood louvers. Air cleaner for the 4-barrel. You could build it as a 4-barrel version, but look, polished tunnel rim. You got regular air cleaners. You got velocity stacks. Look at those velocity stacks. They're tall. So you can notch the hood on this, or you can use the other scoop. You got wheelie bars if you want wheelie bars out of the back of your 57. Coil over shocks. Look at the carburetors. Great kit, great stuff in this kit. And then because you're just building the Chevelle chassis, everything on the parts tree. See, that's why when I said this is the easiest kit bash ever, man, I wasn't kidding, because this is just like building any old kit. And now they have this neat back seat thing. If you really wanted to go crazy and take the back seat out of the 57 Cup, you could do something like that, but you don't have to. The 57 Cup fits fine with the wheel tubs, no issues whatsoever. And then here's you have a roll cage in here. I'm sure if you wanted to work into the 57's interior, you could. You have these nice headers. Look at these headers, man. Look like they have super traps or something on them. There's your cage. You got a chute. You got your rear end setup. Looks like a 9-inch. You got these cool bucket seats. If you didn't want to run the 57 bench, You could put these, because the 57 doesn't come with buckets, or you can go to the parts box. And then here's all your engine stuff. Big block Chevy. There's your suspension. Look at the nice control arms you're going to have on that 57. The drive shaft. There's the lowers. I mean, you got everything here. You could put power brakes in it. Use that master. You could really, really build a nice Pro Street 57 using these two cheapy kits. I mean, you even got, if you want to get creative, well, the 57 has the rockets on the hood. I was going to say you could mold this hood into the 57 hood, but it's got the rockets. I don't know if that's going to fit. Might be a little close for that, but really nice kit. And here's the hood scoop too. If you wanted to do a snorkel on the 57, it's a nice lower one, which I liked. And it's not, you know, sometimes you'll see these things and they're too tall, but this is a pretty slick one that'll look good, you know, on the hood of the 57. That's what guys did back then. That was the look. Here's the tires, which I thought I opened. Yeah, I did. So you get regular black walls with street tread, and then you get slicks with Goodyear. So you could go whatever direction you want to go. And the front gives you some nice detailed front runners. Skinnies. That's going to look so badass, that thing. I can't wait to get this thing done. And let's see what there's your cage too, if you wanted to do anything crazy. But Pro Street is Pro Street. If you're building a drag car, that's one thing. Pro Street, basically, you saw back in the 80s, they were doing like gray tweed interiors with seats like these. You know, they'd get seats out of like a Fiero, because that was like so late model back then. But it's going to be neat. I am really stoked about this one. We just finished up our Dodge D100 build from MPC, and I wanted to do something not right out of the box for this. So I said, let's get a little more interesting with this one. And like I said, I was standing in the aisle staring at these two kits, and I said, man, they look so close, these two. And yeah, the wheelbases are exact. So that's our initial video. I just want to show you where you got to trim. I'm going to clean this chassis up, because when you cut with a Dremel, you leave melted plastic all over. So I'll sand stick that out. Like I said, the only one more cut I may notch you have. Let me push this forward. You see that little smile you have there? The 57's got the same one on it. So I may notch that, because I want this chassis like low, which it is, because the way it sits now, look at the side of the car. It's like, it's way up in there. You don't see nothing hanging down. And it's going to look so good with these steamrollers. Let me give you a money shot. We'll use one slick from behind. Look at that, man. It's a lot of meat under there. And it'll be basically a box stock build doing this. You don't got to fab cutting halves of chassis and shortening and wheelbase, man. You could do this with a lot more kits too. This just opens the door. I'm sure the AMT 55 Chevy is going to work on this chassis. I don't think AMT ever made a 56, right? No, I don't think so. And then maybe when this is done, we'll build the stock 57 chassis with white walls and put it under the Chevelle. Wouldn't that be neat? We'll do a reverse Pro Street. But let me know what colors you guys think. Put some comments on what you think of this idea of the kit bash. Easy peasy, man. It don't get more simple than that. And I'm going to get going on this build. And the next video, we're going to get this thing all built, all put together. But I'm not going to paint the body till I hear a few comments. I'll wait till... What's today? Today's Monday. I'll wait till the weekend to paint the body. So I'm giving you guys all this week. I'll tell you, I'm falling in love with this turquoise, though, man. It might be turquoise. It should look really sharp with those wheels on it. You could kind of see those wheels sitting right there. And this is a good 80s Pro Street color. But you know what else? Black. Looks great on everything. And I'll have to get some fresh bare metal foil, because there's a lot to do on this car. But not too bad. Been there, done that. And this is a great kit. This AMT 57, I built a bunch of them. I love this kit. It goes together nice. I just wish AMT didn't take all the custom parts out of it. I'd have a lot of leftover stuff. Nice interior, very well detailed. Man, I'm falling down here. Nice interior. Yeah. It's even got the correct Daytona weave carpet with the seam that you would use in a real 57 Chevy. That's detail, man. Look at the little vents too on the bottom. I mean, that's super, super detailed. You could do a nice job two-toning this with the black and just leaving it this color. It's the right sheen of like a real, you know, back then, that's exactly what the material looked like on the factory interiors on 57s. But man, this is just a perfect palette to do so many different builds, so many different ways on this thing. So you're going to have a big block Chevy, tunnel ram, headers, skinnies, Pro Street under that 57. What do you think, guys? Is this a home run right here or what, man? I thought you guys would like this. You better get down to Hobby Lobby and get one because they're going to disappear the more people watch this video. Everybody's going to go, man, 30 bucks into the 2 kits and you're all out. Pro Street 57 is done. Guys, thank you so much for clicking on this video. Please subscribe. This way you know when this next video comes out. You'll know, boom, right away. Please give us a like if you like this kind of content and like what I'm doing here. And support this channel. We're a small channel. We're not no million subscribers, just an old guy building models. Check out our web store, racecityretro.com. Buy a shirt. Do something to support the channel. Buy a license plate, buy a picture, buy a sign. So much cool stuff there. If you go there once, you gotta buy something. It's that cool, guys. Thank you so much, man. Get over to the bench and build you something Pro Street, because Pro Street's back, baby. Pro Street's back.